Hello one more time, my dear students. My name is Yuldash Vazainab Kamilovna again, and we will have the last class with you, revision class on the classroom language. Okay, so let's start in this case. The topic the first, I really want to say that the topics which we included during the class. The first one, classroom language. The second, giving questions in English language, giving instruction in English language. Giving instruction in English language, giving oral explanations in English, using native language in English classes. So now start from the classroom language then. So here, given the common language or common usage during the classes, I mean by the teachers, by the learners of the English language. We commonly say that there is the base of the vocabulary that common English language teachers use during their classes. As well, the learners of English language, they have specific a part of the vocabulary that they commonly use in their speech. For example, these words are used according to the levels of the learners, of course. Here I've given some examples which commonly use while understanding or while explaining it only in English language. Here you may see, can I switch on the can I switch on the clock, let's say? Can I open the window? Can I come in? Or can we pack our things now? I can't see the board. Can you start again? And these kind of things are included as a classroom language. Okay, now our next topic, which we already talked, we already discussed all of them with the presentation. In revision class, smoothly, I again provide with some examples, some facts of it because of its revision. That's why. So here the next topic, which we covered, giving questions in English language. This is lesson 7. We already covered it. That's why. Here I just want to say about the advantages and disadvantages of giving questions in English language. First, let's start from plus side, advantages. So what is advantages of giving questions in English language? First, it provides the fluency of the language. The second one, it assures you to a self-esteem. And the third one is that while you are using the questions, automatically you know the rules how to use the question itself. Okay, and then the disadvantages can be so while you're using questions, it may somehow time consuming for the teacher and for the learner while you're saying the question until the teacher understands what is it. And first, you may also analyze it in your brain while you're putting the words correctly while you're asking the question. And sometimes you may do some errors. I will not say that it's a mistake. Errors that because this is because of the language acquisition. So you may say you may misuse some grammatical patterns during the given questions. But commonly, repetition of the using questions, it only gives you positive side of the learning language. Okay, the teacher asks questions for a variety of purposes, including, so we as a teacher give you questions about the topic, about the quality of the work, about the lesson or your home task, and etc. I here categorized some of them that commonly English language teachers use this question type in order to actively involve students in the lesson, to increase motivation or interest, to evaluate students' preparation, to check on completion of work, to develop critical thinking skills, to review previous lessons, to nurture insights, to assess achievement or mastery of goals and objectives, to stimulate independent learning. Yeah, these kind of things are all included in using questions. Okay, using questions not only assessing the learners as according to getting a mark. No, So giving questions or using the questions a lot of purpose. So some learners consider that the question is only for replying, only for saying correct answer. No. So there is opinion questions, and you may give your opinion answer for those. We can't say to assess all of the questions according to particular correct answer, concrete correct answers. So that's why I really want as a teacher to motivate the learners to give me any kind of questions concerning the topic, whether it can be discussive, whether it can be debatable. Anyway, with this kind of issues, they learn language. What is it? Okay. Next topic is giving instructions in English language. Okay, I categorized it like this, instruction in English. So, while we are giving instruction in English language, first, it provides the fluency of the language. While you are giving, you try to be fluent for the learner. And in order to be fluent, in order to be understandable of your instruction, it should be first accurate, it should be accurate enough. No grammatical mistake. So for explaining them, and every category should be accurate. And when your instruction is accurate, it can be fluent as well. And next one is acquisition. So it confers to the language acquisition. Giving instruction is very useful side of the getting language acquisition. First, while you are giving every time the same instruction or explaining in English language, you don't know how you quickly acquainted with the language, with providing fluency and accuracy. Okay, now our about this one is giving instructions. When the instruction is not clear, it's somehow difficult to understand for the learner. And while you're giving the instructions, so it makes them to know what is supposed to be. That's why, in order to show the accuracy, in order to show the understandability, so our task is to be more accurate and simple as well. And then the learners can also understand it easily. Okay, here given there are two general rules for giving instructions. The first one, they must be kept as simple as possible. Yeah, not too long, maybe using only keywords, key language, and try to explain for the learner what are they asked to do. The second one, they must be logical. Yeah, for example, I'm distributing text for reading. Yeah, so after reading, you may do the true-false questions. Of course, the true-false questions is connected to the topic they have already read. And also some activities concerned to the reading part, reading passage. Other activities also logically connected with each other. By doing these tasks, the learners can do well on these tasks, and they know while doing the reading skill, they may practice their vocabulary, they may practice their speaking, they may practice their listening. So they are interrelated, and they should be interrelated during conducting the lesson. Okay, now the next topic is giving oral explanation in English. So I may somehow give a shortly understandable definition for this one, giving feedback. So as a teacher, we give feedback, or even your friends can give you a feedback or comment about your work, about your participation, about your speech, and your role during the class. So what is the first feedback is, and also should the teacher give oral feedback for the participants? Feedback is advice, criticism about how successful or useful something. So we advise you somehow criticize about the successful using something is correct, and try to give, and also in one part, while we are giving the feedback individually, yeah, for particular pattern. And at the end, I mostly as a teacher, when if it's individual task about, I just let the student finish first, and then at the end, in a polite manner, I will explain what it would be great, more accuratable when the participant uses another version of it. For example, and try to give each student some feedback on the task. Yeah, while we are giving the distribution of the task, for sure, after they have done, we give the oral feedback in order to make influence on their work in the future get better. Okay, oral and written feedback. Here I given two types of the feedback, oral and written feedback. As you know, written feedback works much better than oral one. Why? Because you write it. In writing tasks, we try to emphasize their mistakes, their errors in the written form. For example, grammatical mistake. You have done some grammatical mistake and you will show the mistakes there. And you have some misuse of the words. And also you have some problems with your sentence structure, let's say. And mostly in oral one, when they are speaking, we emphasize commonly their grammar mistake. Okay, so but anyway, while we are giving feedback, whether it's oral and written one, we may see these categories. The first, accuracy, fluency, making less grammar mistake. So we try to, while we explain, the learner next time will not do this mistake again. And also relevant. So while we are giving the feedback, for sure it should be relevant. In order to be relevant of our feedback, we should show the justification with the proof of the examples, or with the proof version of this part. For example, someone is talking about the past event, but using the present simple. In order to justify this one, okay, the time is passed, so it means that you should use this tense or you should use this one. As well as in order to provide full accuracy of the full fluency of the English language learning. Okay, using native language in English language class. Actually, this is the last topic we covered in our course, the using native language in English language classes. Okay, the first, English language is the second language if you are learners. For we learn it says in second language in order to be fluent according to our job or profession. So to provide more understanding, okay, sometimes as a teacher we also have to use native language in order to provide more understanding while we are giving them some examples, for example. And also we when we compare with our culture and American culture, while we are giving examples, so we use the native language. And the next part is easy way of giving examples. As I told you, giving examples while we are comparing it, we commonly, or we may say, we may use native language, and then the learners easily compare it with the English language as well. The third one, commonly use it while giving the translation. Yeah. So while we are working, while the learners, the students are working with the word, they ask the English version, and then while giving the long definition, we try to give just short one word with the translation of this word. As well as giving a definition is also good, but it depends on the learner. If it's very young learner, it's somehow difficult for them to understand the gist of the word. What does it mean, for example? That's why common elementary teachers try to use native language in order to provide them with the translation of the English words. Okay, this is the end of the course. I hope that you enjoyed my online classes. and I'm very grateful